Yeah. Then, so if you cannot control, then how can you be very, very sharp in getting something done immediately? Right? So my personal experience tells me that with meditation, I could have a better, for lack of a better word, productive use or control of the mind faculty. So the mind is a servant, but it's a bad master. So you let your mind be your master, you're always emotionally high, emotionally low, you are sad one day, because mind thinks of whatever, that energy will then expand the energy out in the form of emotion in your body, right? And we have all learned from Siu Ling and Professor Ling and all that, right? That your emotion then gets into the way of your meridians, isn't it? Right? So if you're sad, you're always sad, then what happens? Like some part of your meridian get blocked. If you're always very happy, so and then you cannot control when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're anxious, when you are upset, when you're annoyed. What jialat leh? This is why a whimsical mind will tire you. Okay, so some of us get tired very easily. But before the end of the day, already punctured already. Okay, but yet some, and the extreme example to me is Guruji lah, right? He like a battery that never low back on. He's always full 100%. So a totally meditative state is like a battery that's 100%. And I think that is something worth exploring. Okay, for those of you who are keen to learn meditation in a much different format. I mean, you are listening to me. I'm not a teacher. I'm just, I practice it for myself. I cannot even say that I can teach you anything, but I can only share like now. I can just share my own little journey over a very short period of time. Since 2010 until now, it's hardly only like how many years, 10 over years, which is not very long. Okay, but if you want, then you can learn it from the Art of Living Foundation. You can read Osho's book. Osho has many, many books on meditations. Find it tremendously powerful. Okay, and some of you who are keen, you can sign up for a Vipassana, which is another program. Okay, that is the Buddha's way of meditation. But ultimately, they're all different vehicles. It's like different pathway that go up to the same mountain peak. Yeah. So at the end, I can't even say the word like feeling or enjoyment or that state or that consciousness. It's the same. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, but it's different way to go up there. Right. So lastly, I'd just like to say that there are different forms of meditations. Like some of you have know that the Buddha's way, okay, is to sit down quietly. Why? There's a reason for that. And then you have the twirling dancer. How many of you know about the twirling dancer in Turkey? Yeah, they call it the dervishes. Yeah, so they twirl. Why? There's a reason. Okay, see, in Buddha's life, Buddha was born as a prince. So he has got all the fun fair and the palace and the fun and the woman and the food and all this. So in order for Buddha to meditate, he needs to go to the extreme end, the opposite end. The opposite end is to quiet down. Okay, but for the Sufi, and the Sufi in Iran and Sufi in Turkey and all that, they are in the desert. There's nothing to do. So for them to sit down, they'll go crazy. Okay, so for them, they go the other opposite end, they twirl. Okay, and using the twirling dance, okay, they get into a deep meditation state. So I was personally very grateful to Mami Lao Si in Spiritual Ocean, Xingling Hai, where I had the chance to do the twirling and I could get into deep meditations as well. Okay, so but that one, you need somebody to guide you. Yeah, you don't need how do it in your house, then you hit the TV and then TV better, then yeah, so that's not something that you can easily do. Okay, but sitting down quietly is something that we all can do, but sitting down quietly is very difficult also. Okay, so I hope that my little sharing tonight will be of some help to some of you, especially those who are keen to try it out. Yeah, okay, question time. Yeah,
Can I add something, Alvin?
yes, please, yeah, please share.
Yeah. For me, I'm very grateful for Alvin because I've learned meditation in Avita through Alvin. Before I go into Avita, I know nuts about meditation. I know prayer, but I didn't know that meditation exists. So he actually gave me a book and introduced me to a meditation, and for that I'm truly, utterly grateful. Um, for myself, I learned a lot. I type it in the chat. For those of you who are keen, the late Singapore Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew had a very good, it's only about 16 minutes video of, he was interviewed before he passed away. He was interviewed by his, Lee Kuan Yew started meditation very late, on his late age, and his teacher is a Benedictine monk. His meditation teacher is a Benedictine monk named Lawrence Freeman. I also attend, when Lawrence Freeman was in Singapore, I made my way to attend series of lectures and talks by him, because he's the teacher of Lee Kuan Yew. So it was really good. So watch the video. I put it in the link, and Lee Kuan Yew vouched for meditation itself, like what Alvin said. As a leader, he said, although he's not a Catholic, he believes in the practice of meditation and the benefits of meditation. In fact, if you watch that video, Lee Kuan Yew said he believes that leaders, as leaders, even in maybe in parliament, no, he didn't say parliament, but as leaders, if we could meditate before the meeting, he said we could have more or a better outcome for meetings. And he said, Lee Kuan Yew said, he believes that many of the wars among countries, probably, or in the United Nations, could have been avoided, or conflicts within countries could have been avoided if leaders, country leaders, will do meditation before they embark on a certain endeavor. And so I believe it rings true to our network as well as leaders. Perhaps the conflicts we have in our networks could be lesser, not totally disappear, but lesser if we could practice meditation before we embark on certain serious endeavors, like planning for the year's event, or do goal setting and all that for our teammates. Perhaps if we can incorporate meditation into that, a few minutes only, 12 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes of meditation before we do the year planning or goal setting, then it sets everyone into a path, in a common, and like what Alvin said, on a better perspective. And that's what Lee Kuan Yew said. So I would encourage, for those of you who wanted to really learn, yeah, like what he said, there's also other, but I learned a lot from Lawrence Freeman, wccm.org, in terms of meditation. And it's very true as well. Like I will just share, if I don't do meditation, I find that I'm easily, like what he said, easily get distracted, not just distracted, but easily, my emotions are easily affected. But if I'm anchored into meditation, I find that I don't easily get, as a mother, I don't easily get irritated.
Agitated.
Yeah, agitated and irritated with my kids when they are, when they are naughty, especially when you are caregiving for a special needs child. You have to have, you need the practice of meditation. Otherwise, you're easily, you see, there are parents of special needs kids who does things to the children. Recently in the newspaper, in the news in Singapore, we have seen that. So it's very important to really practice the art of meditation, in not just in the business, but in different aspects of our lives, and more so for me as a parent, as a mother.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. What she say is, I want you to imagine you have two persons here. Anyone, two of us. Okay. One is meditated, more in a meditative state. Yeah. And the other one is like a child, right? Like monkey mind, right? And going up and down, going up and down. Do you think they can get into a quarrel situation? You won't, is it? It won't, right? It's a bit like you are sitting in McDonald's and then you have this 5-year-old girl and coming and pulling tantrum and all that. Do you respond to that? Do you get angry with that small child? You won't, right? because you are much more conscious in that sense. Okay. So when you are in an even higher meditative state, you are not easily affected. So yes, it is so important for leaders. Otherwise, your downline get emotion, your customer get emotion, and then you respond with the same kind of emotion. then you get into atomic bomb, okay. Now, the other thing is that there are so many ways. This, this is Osho's Book of Secret, okay? Yeah, it's a very thick book, yeah. It says here, 112 meditations method. So in Osho, he has compiled says that there are so many different type of meditation, okay? It is for you, right, to find one that suits you. Like I explained just now, Buddha comes from a rich family. He is a prince. He lives in a palace. So he is used to noise. So if you ask him to do twirling, he probably cannot get into meditative state. So he needs to go the other extreme. Yeah. So in every one of us, we are a little bit different. So some of us will then practice meditation, like just watch your breath. Okay. And some of us would just watch your thoughts. Okay. And then there are other forms of like walking meditation. Okay. The Buddhists or the Tibetan also practice walking meditation. And you're just looking, right? You're just looking at 30 degrees down and just looking at 1 foot away from your toe. You're just looking at that. Yeah. That is also a kind of focusing and just lightly focusing on something that is of inconsequential. But you're walking, so that scene, if you can imagine that scene that you're focusing on, it kind of changes as you go along. So despite the change, you are steady. And in Guruji's, Shri Ravi Shankar, 口诀, I know there's 3 secret, what you call that, 口诀, what do you call 口诀? It's like the secret,
rhyme, is it?
Yeah, it's the secret verses, the charm, okay. He says that when you're ready to meditate, he says these 3 lines. Okay, you may want to take note. Okay, one is that I want nothing. In other words, I desire nothing, right? Second is I am nothing. Okay, and third is I think nothing. So your thought, you're nothing, I desire nothing, and you allow yourself. So that also is another way. So I kind of collect a lot of assortment. I try different, and you get into your own experimentations. But certainly, if you are in a quieter place, it is less challenging compared to be in a noisy place. But once you get to the point, like today, I can be in the market, and if I wish to, I could sit right in the middle of the market, and I cannot say 100% because last Saturday, is it? Or last Friday, I think last Friday, I went walking 20 minutes, and I went up to the top of a park, and I was sitting on the side bench, and I was meditating. Then a group of old ladies come around just beside me, right in front of me, actually, when I opened my eyes, okay? And then they were talking loudly. Whoa, in my mind, I was saying, oh, disturbed already, right? Then say, oh, this is a golden opportunity to see how I can quiet my mind despite the noise. I snap into that. And then later on, more challenging, they have an iPad, and then they started playing the iPad, and they were doing like our meridian dance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. I was like, wow, it was like cool, man. Yeah. So it was a golden opportunity to stretch my own experiment and my own experience. Yeah. But then you put up your hand, is you want to say something? Yeah.
Yes, I just want to share because I realized as I was listening to you that I really need to go deeper into my meditation because I'm a very creative person. So the tendency is my brain cells would come up with something new every single moment. So like yeah, so like this afternoon I was preparing for the Soaring Eagles, and then I started looking for videos for Josephine's tee up. So it's so cluttered and it's making me tired all the time. So I think yeah, and this is a good learning experience for me, being reminded about meditation, especially you know I am Catholic, and I'm looking at ways to do meditations the Catholic way. So that's also very important to me. And what Gina shared is a priest doing meditation, a monk and a priest, I think, at the same time. So thank you so much, Alvin. And I think it will give me a better clarity of mind and heart, especially I have so many plans to do this year, and yeah, so it's keeping me grounded, and it's allowing me to put the boundaries to my brain cells working overtime. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I wish for you, because if you would say that you are a creative person, the apex of your creativity, the explosion of your creativity would be a well-rested mind.
Mm.
Like what you experienced this afternoon, that's not creativity. That is like, yeah, a kaleidoscope of things hammering in and out. It's almost like comets and meteorite coming in and out. So those idea comes in a form that is non-harmonious. Okay, and you will find very hard to really put your creativity to that sparkling use in that sense. Yeah. So someone, Priscilla just now put about living in the present moment. So the highest form of creativity to me, right, is when you are able to live in the present moment. What does it mean by living in the present moment? It means that you are able to really be present now, and without uncontrollable kind of things that hammer in and out, and it brings you here and there. You're physically here, physically, but how many of us are physically here when you are, say, talking to your prospect? You're thinking about your children, you're thinking about your work, you're thinking about deadline, you're thinking about, so you're not physically there, right? But when you're physically there, it means there's a fire next door, and you will still be talking to him, your 5-page, you will still be, yeah, there's a fire next door, but you will still be, okay. So that is that present moment, Okay,
Can I share a little bit on
yeah,
that?
please, yeah.
I saw that because when you see it from Alvin, it sounds so far-fetched, right? But actually, when you see that in action, like what Alvin is saying, for those of you who have the privilege of seeing Alvin do 5-page back then, prior to COVID, in the showroom, you could attest to that. When not just 5-page, when he, particularly I saw it when he's doing 5-page with someone, whoever walks in and out, or who's ever screaming and celebrating there, he won't get distracted. He will just be focused on doing the 5-page with the person. Whereas for us, it's so easy when we're doing, hi, hello, someone come in, oh, hi, welcome. And then we kiss, and then okay, now this is page 3. Oh, hi, hello. Something like that. You won't see him doing like that. So those are the practical, for those of you who are thinking of practical applications of like what you said, living in the, because when you talk about living in the moment, some of you may like, what is that? So the practical application of that living in the moment is doing really that without easily being distracted by whatever is around.
So if there's a fire, please watch out for me. Please carry me along with you. Okay, any other things? Just now Ching was saying something. Oh, Ching was saying that you can't understand Osho's book, right? Come to my house. I have one whole library of Osho's book. Now, I must say this, yeah. You're reading an enlightened master's communications. Okay. Some of his books are very deep, and I have a whole library but there are books that I have not touched. So it is about, yeah, you come to my house, you can see. I will tell you which book you should read first. Okay, because if you pick the wrong book, like for example, the author of Jonathan Livingston Seagull, Richard Bach, right? So Richard Bach in his lifetime, he wrote quite a few books. So there was one book that I made an attempt to read 3 times, and I could not. I had to put it down after a few pages. So there are times for you to dance with some of this because their awareness and their consciousness is at a level that we have not been able to dance with in that sense. I hope I make sense. It's a bit difficult to explain some of
Cheng,
these
don't
things.
wait already. Cheng, you just made an appointment with Alvin to go to his house.
Oh yeah, I can tell
Wendy,
you.
please bring her along.
Yeah, there's some.
Tomorrow.
Okay, your turn. Okay. Yeah. Okay, then there's another form of meditation that some of you would have experienced. When I do rock climbing, okay, there are moments where you are just doing, which is why sports is so addictive, especially dangerous sports. Okay, because when you are rock climbing or skiing or doing diving or scuba diving or some of these sports, you get into the zone. They call it the zone. I think you all have all heard of the word. That is the meaning of meditation state, meditative state. That you are not thinking anymore. Runners do that a lot of time. When they're running, they get to a point where they are no longer, there is no runner and the rope. There's only running. Do I make sense? When a dancer is doing a dance and the dancer and the dance disappear and there's only dancing, there is no a verb and a noun. There's only dancing. It's a movement. That's why life is a flow. Wow, this is deep, no? When you read Osho stuff, and this is a flow. So we are so, that's why language is a very dangerous thing. Language always put a subject and a object, okay, or a noun doing a verb. A dancer doing a dance. But a dance is a dead thing. A dancer is also a dead thing in that sense. A dancer is just you, right? But when you and the dancer and the dance is disappear, that's when dancing, that is the meditative state. So again, that was also an experience that I was very, very grateful for during the Singling High program. And then later on in Osho's ashram, I had the chance to experience it. Wow, it was like, so you could be in the movement and get into meditative state. You could be sitting still and get into meditative state. You could be twirling and get into meditative state. It can be in many, many forms. So you have to find one form that fits you. And again, we are talking about how to start your day right. So you got to get into something that you can do it repeatedly over and over and over on a daily basis and get it into a habit. Always remember, habit then drives you. Habits, then you're no longer thinking already. It's just like those of us who drive, we get into the car, we don't think anymore. We don't think where is the wiper, where is the turn left, turn right, which one, right? You no longer, you get into that habitual state. So the more things we put into that habitual programming, then we are literally setting ourselves up for life. Okay. And I believe that starting your day right every day, right, is so critical, a starting point, because that 24 hour, I mean, not even 24 hours, it's only like 12 hours, right? This half of the hours that we are awakened, we can do something. We can be either very highly proficient, productive, efficient, or we can be being bundled around with all kinds of thoughts and then, bum around like the pinball machine, the ball ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Sometimes you gonna the bullseye, but sometimes you get out of you ended up nowhere. Okay, so I think this is the end of my sharing for this evening. I hope it's been helpful. And I think that, I mean, for us, we are all leaders. Empower Night need not all the while be teaching about some hardcore skill, but sharing each other's experiences could be something that is very helpful for every one of us too. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. If there's any last question you all can raise, if not, then
Can I share something?
Oh yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not too sure. Have you all heard about this Dr. Wayne Dyer? Some of his very good books. Sometimes I listen to his audiobook and he has a quote say, you wake up in the middle of the night, never go back to sleep, because that is the inspiration come. Yeah. So I woke up quite a few times, like 4 a.m., 3:30 a.m. and okay, then I cannot get back to sleep back. So I start to do meditation. So I've been listening to some of his audiobooks and he say what you can do in the morning when you do meditation, you produce this sound called it's a very natural sound, right? Okay, so this is what I do in the morning. Then before you sleep, then you do the so actually there's resonance of energy. Yeah, so it clear your mind. To me, it's very helpful. Yeah. You see that some, like what Alvin says, the inspiration, the intuition just come when you needed it. Yeah, like when I do my PowerPoint, I need that inspiration. I cannot say sit down and do. Okay, the inspiration must come. Then I got okay. Suddenly I saw this YouTube. Then it's like wow, what I need it just appeared. Like the Simon Sinek video, that 1 minute. Oh, this is what I want. You know, so it's like God talk to me. Yeah, so I really live the moment, and you find that your time becomes so productive and so exciting for the day. You no need to like crack your mind, think about, you know, it just flow. It's like life, just flow. Yeah, go with the flow. In Chinese, there's this Lao Tzu, it says, 上善如水, be like the water, you know, just flow in any form. Yeah, where the hard rocks, you know, you just move around. Yeah, I think we should enjoy this process in Avita, and then, you know, we don't have all the, let your mind, your ego rule your life, but let your heart rule your life. I think life will be very beautiful.
And then PV will come.
Yes. Yeah. And then amazingly, people will contact you, and then your customer will refer friends to you. Then you see, hey, wow, okay. Then it's so like, you know, so it's very easy. Yeah. Do Avita with ease, not with like a lot of resistance, a lot of hard work. No, do with ease. Enjoy the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope that these are all good sharing of personal experiences. I don't believe that most of us, we are hired for a good mind. Let's put it that way. Yeah, when you go for a job interview, it's about how productive and all this. But I think when you come to become a leader, you're leading people. You're not just a machine. Yeah. You got to have that intuitive feel about individuals, and that in the present moment dealing with someone, you know, whether it's a prospect or a downline or a case, and having that meditative state, the ability to get in the meditative state, certainly it is very helpful in the conduct of our business and in the leading of fellow human beings, and having the aspiration and the inspirations to visualize forward to a bigger tomorrow and a brighter tomorrow for everybody. Okay, thank you very much. It's the 8th day of the Tiger New Year, and thank you. Let's all okay? Yeah, thank you. Back to you.